Welcome back, everybody. Well, the Champions League returns in a little over 2 weeks' time, and here's just a look at some of the notable fixtures we've got to look forward to on Matchday 1 of the league phase. You've got Athletic Club hosting Arsenal. Liverpool, they'll welcome Atletico Madrid to Anfield, and Kevin De Bruyne will return to the Etihad when Manchester City host Napoli. So a lot to look forward to, obviously, with the brand new Champions League league phase about to get underway. So we've tasked the boys with giving us a prediction for how the entire league phase is going to pan out. But why don't we start, boys, with who we think is going to be eliminated? Let's go worst to first, shall we? Do you both agree on this?
Before we start, let's just say this is mission impossible, okay? No one knows what's going to happen. We had the first sample of it last season. We saw Paris Saint-Germain just squeak through to make it into the knockout round and go on to be Champions League winners. Grella. Yeah,
I mean, these are the teams that obviously anybody would pick, right? You don't need to be a genius to see these teams. You have Pafos, Karat Almaty that knocked out Celtic, that physical team, good team. Their first time in the Champions League, I think there's a lot to learn. There's a big learning curve. It's going to be difficult for them as well. Some of maybe the surprises you see is Atalanta. They lost Retegui. They lost Lookman is still, they don't know if he's coming back or not. Ajax up there as well. They have a difficult schedule. When you look at Olympiacos, has a lot of European experience, but when you see the quality that's in the next 24, you'll understand why these teams are there.
I'm surprised you've got Atalanta in there, Grell. Not feeling it.
Have you seen Atalanta perform recently?
Yeah, it's a different Champions League.
They just tied Parma and tied Pisa.
They don't look good. And also the situation with Lookman there as well. Their talisman is not a great look.
We'll see what happens with Lookman. Bodo Glimt, though, the Cinderella side of the Europa League last season, it's a great achievement for them to play in the Champions League, isn't it?
Unbelievable achievement, Poppy, and I'll say it's well deserved. They play fantastic football. We've watched them last year in the whole Europa League and what they did and going on to play Tottenham and lose in the semi-finals. Fantastic, but this is just a level too much. But a lot of teams would not like to go to the most northern region team to go and play there in Boda.
Very cold as well. There's going to be some long trips for some of these European teams this season. OK, what about the teams that will qualify in the top 8 then and will automatically go through to the round of 16?
For me, I think these are the teams there. And the one team that I want to say that is a bit of a surprise that people might not really like is Juventus. Juventus, for me, with Tudor's manager, and when you look at their fixtures, the fixtures for Juventus, I think, are realistically winnable game. And I think they've got very accommodating fixtures with the quality that they have and what they've shown so far, that they should make the top 8.
Yeah, listen, they have easier fixtures. I don't know if there's easy games in Champions League. At Bodo Glimt can be a difficult game. We just talked about what it's like to go up there. I mean, Roma figured it out firsthand, how difficult it was, and they got beat up there. And Benfica and Monaco, are they much better than those teams? I haven't seen it yet. We'll see under Tudor and with Yildiz, but they do have favorable compared to other teams, for sure.
Yeah, compared to other teams, for sure. I mean, the one that stands out is obviously Real Madrid will be a really tough test, and Dortmund also can be a difficult team.
Yeah.
Speaking of Real Madrid, let's have a look at their schedule and what they've got coming up, because obviously by their standards, it was a disappointing season, wasn't it, last year?
Well, even with Real Madrid now, Xabi Alonso's at the helm. He's still trying to make things happen. He received Vinicius Jr. not starting games, trying to get a reaction off him. They still haven't put a body of work of 90 minutes of dominance. There's still some fine-tuning that needs to be done, but it is Real Madrid. It comes with a standard, it comes with an expectation, and there's going to be some cracking ties there. You know, Marseille's not going to be an easy place to get a result. You look at the Liverpool as well, Manchester City, some very, very difficult games, but you dream to go to Real Madrid, and you go to Real Madrid for games like these and situations like this. Xabi Alonso's obviously young manager, still learning his trade, but has the talent.
It's important to note this is only the second year of this format, right? So we don't know exactly how managers are going to look at this. I know that some clubs last season tried to actually rest and get and put sort of the reserves for these games. I know Inter did it. I know that PSG did it, which is why they only squeaked in till the end. So teams are going to manage this differently, and everyone's going to have their own way of doing it and see how the table pans out. So it's also, these are the strongest teams in the tournament, but you don't know how they're going to manage the squads throughout the competition.
And let's be honest, it's very generous, this new format. There's a lot of games. You get an opportunity to make it back.
We saw Man City and PSG almost get knocked out last season when it came down to the knockout phases. Manchester City, speaking of who, have Napoli. We mentioned Kevin De Bruyne returning to play Pep Guardiola's side. This is their schedule, though. Will they be pretty happy, given all things considered, with this schedule?
I think they'll be fine with it. It's Pep Guardiola. He's gone to Manchester City. He set standards. He knows what he wants from his players, and these players at Manchester City know what's expected of them. You know, they've become a world brand now, and it's about winning. A competition that Pep Guardiola is very familiar with. He's got a good squad. Yes, he's still kind of rebuilding. I think there are still those vulnerabilities of when they do attack that they might not have enough legs to recover it from midfield to help the back four out. But he's got a great squad, some great attacking players, and I think that he'll be very confident with it. I think the new approach that most of these clubs will do is the first 4 fixtures is where they want to get the job done. They want to win those first 4 fixtures. And you'd have to say with Manchester City there, with the quality that they have, they should get the job done.
I think if you get in the top 8, it's just as good as winning the competition in the table phase, because Liverpool got a really difficult matchup in there. They were the #1 last season, and they got a really difficult matchup early on. So I think there's a benefit to getting in the top 8 because it saves you 2 games, right? Yeah. So that's important, but there's no benefit in trying to actually win it. So what Nigel says, they'll go for it early, see if they can get themselves close to the top 8, which I think was, if I'm not mistaken, around 16 points last year.
16 points, yeah.
So they'll try to get to their 16 and then manage it from there.
And you have to be aggressive. That's just the reality of it. When you look at last year, you learn from what happened with other clubs and teams. You definitely have to be aggressive.
OK, what about the full reveal then? Because PSG, who just won it last season, aren't even in that list now. You've got them finishing 11th place.
They're the best club in the world right now for me, the best team in world football, but they have a difficult fixture list, PSG. So that is why I would say that they'll take out the knockout rounds. And they're a team that seems to get better as the tournament goes on as well. With all they've achieved last year, there might be a little slump. Difficult fixtures that they have to deal with.
Teams you don't want to play here that can actually win the tournament, obviously PSG, we saw them do it last season in a really good fashion. Chelsea could do some damage in this tournament. And the other one is Atletico. Obviously, a slow start to the season so far domestically, but them in the knockout competition, nobody wants to play against them. So those are teams. And also, you could add Dortmund to that list, that they have the experience and the know-how in Champions League football on European nights.
I would say as well, there's one team in there that I think potentially could drop into the elimination, and that'll be Leverkusen. Leverkusen do not look great right now.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Under Erik ten Hag, and they've had a bit of a shocker start to the season. Hasn't been great, don't look good, and I think that they could be a team that could find themselves eliminated. What
about Chelsea? It's been a minute since we've seen them play in the Champions League, the FIFA Club World Cup champions this summer. Are you excited to see them back?
Yeah, I am. And in knockout football as well, I think they're still a young team. They're a team that's going to, they proved that they played PSG off the park. We didn't know what we were going to get with the FIFA Club World Cup, but the clubs, as it went on, they took it much more serious. And at the final game, they matched PSG. You can't take anything away from Chelsea. So why not apply it to the Champions League? This is the best competition in the world. I think that they can get out to the knockout stage. Nobody will want to play them, for sure. I think they have a lot of quality in the team.
That's a great thing. On their day, they can beat anyone. So it's going to be interesting to see how they handle midweek, playing on a Sunday, midweek Sunday now with the squad that they have. But they definitely are a knockout team.
Who have you got winning? One-word answer, Grell?
Barcelona, if they manage games correctly.
Barca?
I said Barcelona are my favourites as well, because I feel that this is what they want to win this year.
OK, all right, well, that does it for us here on CBS Sports Network. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll be back at noon on the Golazo Network to bring you all the Serie A action.